Now let's start. Good
All right.
afternoon, masterminds. We are back. We are back to just recap the proceedings of the case. Jabs is experiencing problems with his laptop, so we are not going to share anything today. We're just going to have a relaxed conversation relating to the outcome and the fact that the state closed its case, and that the views and opinions of the interviews we saw. And yes, we always share our own honest opinions based on our own investigations and evidence. So, masterminds, you know what to do when you come in the house. Please like, please share, and please comment. And please also become a member of this channel so that we can keep on growing this channel and keep on bringing you the freshest, the latest, and also giving you the chance to voice your own opinions on this channel. Afternoon, traveler. You know the book Gulliver's. You are all over the world, all over the place. There was a book that I loved in school. They called it, what was it? Gulliver's Travel, something like that. You are now that person. You are traveling. Every day you are at another place. How are you, Njab?
Yes. Yes, hopefully. No, I'm good, Suspect. How are you?
Mm. Tell us, have you been able with everything, you being on the road and everywhere?
Yes.
Have you been
No,
able
for
to
me, I'm
follow the
I'm really
case?
good. Yeah.
Mm. Can you tell us your views on the latest developments? Yeah, as I told you, masterminds, it seems like in jobs have a problem, network issues, connectivity. But as we said, we are just going to have a very relaxed conversation relating to the state closing a case without calling extremely crucial witnesses, and relating to the fact that the defense uh, indicated they are going to submit a Section 174 application for 5 accused to be acquitted based on the fact that the state could not provide enough evidence to convict or to find the accused persons, or to, how do you put it? The state could not provide enough evidence that implicates the
Yeah.
accused persons beyond reasonable doubt. Hence, the defense made the indication that they are going to apply for a Section 174. I was also acquitted on a Section 174, and I didn't even call witnesses. My lawyers made a Section 174 application, and the magistrate approved the Section 174 application, and I was acquitted based on the fact that the state didn't have a case. They couldn't prove beyond reasonable doubt that I was guilty of the charges that was brought against me. And just, can we proceed further? What are your views? I saw 2 interviews. I saw the interview of Elton Hart, and I saw the interview of Harry Nel. Totally contradicting interviews. We have lost in Jabula again. Totally contradictive interviews. The interview of Harry Nel, Harry Nel still believed that the 5 accused are the right people who are in the house. He believed that he once said he believed it was a robbery gone wrong, and it also means now he believed it's a hit. You just go with the flow. Whenever the state is submitting evidence, Harry Nel is believing. Now, my question is Harry Nel following, is a watching brief for the Miwa family except for Sifiso, because it's not a watching brief for Sifiso, because Sifiso does not believe that the 5 accused are the people who are supposed to be in the block. Now, I want to ask a question. Is Harry Nel following the case, the evidence, the way all of us are here on a daily basis, following the case, following the evidence that are being led in that court? Remember, Harry Nel rose to fame when he was prosecuting the Oscar Pistorius case. He was a prosecutor in that case, and we all admired him so much because he was the one who showed us that the state is very good with prosecutors like Harry Nel, bringing evidence to the court and showing the court exactly how this crime was committed. This was supposed to be calling everyone to come and show the court that this is how this crime was committed. They didn't left out any evidence. The state didn't left out any evidence. The state, in fact, the state went above and beyond. They didn't omit evidence. They didn't change evidence. There was not, the case was already fully investigated when Harry Nel prosecuted that case of Oscar Pistorius. There was no pending evidence or investigation. The state didn't come and add evidence as they went along with the trial, as it happened in this case. But Harry Nel believes that the 5 accused is the right people to be prosecuted. Now, Njabs, can you please unmute yourself? I believe you've missed a big part of, but what I was asking you is, what do you think, before we go to the interview and the views of Eltonad, who is also a legal expert? Harry Nel is a former prosecutor who is now the lawyer of AfriForum, the private prosecuting unit of AfriForum. I'm really struggling. I believe I'm just going to go with the flow. And Jabs is really struggling there with network, and I'll just keep on until he can connect. But as I was saying, now what do we make of this? Is the views of Harry Nel rational? Is it rational? And I'm asking, is he following this case like we are following this case in speaking out of total conviction, or I don't know. James, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, I think up until now, we are grateful that we've come to a point where the state has finally closed its case. Now it's clear to us as South Africans that that the state case, it is not about you and me, Pat. It's not about the Meiwa family. It's not about Kelly. It's not about Kininda. It's not about any of the accused person. But the state's case is a demonstration which is enshrined in our constitution, saying the state can bring a case against any accused person into a criminal process so that a judge can adjudicate and then beyond reasonable doubt and able to say, yes, indeed, the state, you find that directly or indirectly, the accused person has infringed in any of the rights of the of another citizen. So it means that there is an act that has been broken, which then that person needs to face the full might of the law. Now, unfortunately, suspect with the technology and everything that has happened, we've been able to follow the case from the beginning up until where it is now. We've also been able to track the case based on the timelines of events that all the witnesses of the state that have presented to before the court of Judge Rata to say, this is the sequence of events, this is what has happened up until now. Therefore, we believe that indeed the accused persons that are before you, Rata, are the ones that may have committed this deed. Now, that's an ideal world, suspect. That's where we should be. That's the environment which, as South Africans, we want to live in such a place, in such an environment. Wow. And people, suspect, must also understand that it is not a favor that the case is broadcasted on TV. It's not a favor. It's what I will call, it's a mitigation of a risk. Can you imagine which court can house about 300 South Africans that will want to go and see the case then? So the form of streaming the case is kind of like, yes, it's kind of like controlling the risk. So for anybody who thinks that, you know what, if the case was not broadcasted, if South Africans have interest in the case, that's what will happen. Therefore, it's what we've also seen. It's what also we have seen within the matter of in the Western Cape. The courts there in Saldanha, they were small. There was no court that can house at least more than 50 people. I think that's why then the court actually ended up going to a place which is like a hall. We've seen certain cases in Johannesburg, the Palm Ridge, where cases are moved to Palm Ridge because Palm Ridge appears to be a bigger court environment. But then also Johannesburg Court was under renovation. Why I'm giving this context, suspect, it's very important. It is very important that people must understand that it's not a favor. It's a right that on anybody, the court that is presiding on a matter is a public court. You can walk in there and view the things. The fact that witnesses refuse to be shown in TV, I tell you what, if there is a stronger party or a stronger foundation that can actually oppose that, because what is it different if streaming on YouTube, streaming on a TV, it's like an overflow. Because if these people were present in court, they will have seen this witness in person. So therefore, this court of saying witnesses must not be shown on TV.
Okay, we have lost Njabs there again. And yet, they have shown the face of the head of the Khosi Mampuri Correctional Facility. His face was shown. So how did that happen? Or was there application for his face to be shown? I believe some of the witnesses will want to be shown on television. I believe should the judge not approve the Section 174 application, Abselum Zongu, should the defense call him as a witness, Abselum Zongu is going to want to be shown in television to show that here am I as Abselum Zongu, as ye voluntarily asked us to bring a media team to come and interview him because he want people to know he is, you want people to say this indeed this person who are being mentioned in court. So as Njab say, we don't understand the rationale behind this because in each and every court, witnesses' faces are being shown. People are sitting in that court and they see the faces of the witnesses are not being hidden. They are seeing the faces of the witnesses. In Rata's court, we read there's a lot of things that we don't understand. But proceed, Njabs, before we lose you again.
Yes, I mean, having said that, suspect, I mean, I must also apologize. I mean, we had in one of the YouTube videos where we've been seeing another general from the Western Cape. I mean, we've been mixing everybody and saying, this be Kininda, this is Kininda, this is Kininda.
Yes.
How can a face of a public servant not to be known?
Their general's face are trending.
So yes, because now we like thinking it's Brigadier Kininda. And thanks to those real Masama that have actually commented on one of their comments on the YouTube and saying that, you know what, please forgive us, General, because I find it un-South African. I find it abnormal. I find it so strange that there is a public servant that will not want his face to be known by the South African that is serving.
Paying you salary.
Yes, I mean that's a public figure.
Even the photographer said, I don't know Brigadier Kininda. If they say he was there, I didn't see him. Because why? No one saw Kininda there. All they saw was Robocop. Does the judge actually know that Kininda was there? Because on that day, no one saw Kininda there because he was just.
Yes, I mean that's very sad, because now it's like they're waiting for any.
We lost in jobs again, and proceeding with a line of this is that general that are being shown on screens and on videos, and that general is in Western Cape. He's a major general. I just forgot his name, his surname. But that is that one with a red tie that I always seen next to Becky Taylor. That is not Brigadier Kininda. Because of the fact that Kininda doesn't want his face to be shown, their general are now trending everywhere. And you know what? Maybe his life are also being in danger because of Kininda, who doesn't want his face to be shown in public. And now tell me, how can a public servant refuse his face to be shown in a court of law? I believe most of the people who goes in court knows exactly that when you go in court as a witness, and for that matter is the investigation officer in this case, not even a witness, really a witness. He's the investigation officer. Now, no one knows who is this investigation officer. Everyone knows when you go to a court to testify that eventually your face are going to be seen by everyone. But we needed there. We don't know why Rata is being allowing it, because during the time of Judge Maumela, the faces of the witnesses were seen. We saw the faces of the witnesses. During the time of Judge Maumela, it was when Rata came into this case when that order was made to say that the faces, the proceedings must not be evidence must not be shown, faces must not be shown. I don't even really know what is the context of the context 10 of that order of Rata and what was the rationale behind that order. That was one of the orders that doesn't make sense that Rata made. He made an order that accused number 5 must be transferred to Lukop. And you know what? I saw him attempting to change that order because there's a grieved head of correctional services came in and say, I'm not happy with your order, you must change it. And Rata almost changed that order because he told him, Shololo, who told you that that order cannot be rescinded? And Nisi intervened. Where the law, when Nisi intervened, I'm intervening based on the law.
Apparently, it's still in Jose Mampur.
So, meaning that even Rata's orders are useless. If he's still in Jose Mampuru, he was not transferred immediately because the order was made on Thursday already. Meaning that the head of the correctional facility just tell Rata that, you know what, I told you I'm happy. Why did you allow those lawyers to convince you? Because I told you that I want to see them in your chambers, and they refuse to come to the chambers. So it means that even Rata's orders are useless. If accused number 5 is still in Khoshi Mampuru, so what must happen now? What is Rata going to do? What must happen now? Because it cannot be that hard to just transfer an inmate when the court made an order. That is a court order. And what Nisi told the head of Khoshi Mampuru to say, you know what? You know what to do. If you are not happy, you must bring an appeal. You must make an application, you bring an appeal, and you say you're not happy with this order that's made, that must be heard in another court because Rata cannot rescind his own order. So we can see how the law are being applied selectively. How the law are being applied selectively, because there is a meaning that the head of Khoshi Mampuru is in contempt of court. But what is going to happen at the end of the day? We believe nothing. We believe nothing is going to happen because not even the mainstream media will come and say, but, where are they? Where are the mainstream media to come and say that the judge made an order and the order has not been followed? Because, I mean, now I listened to the interview of Elton Hart, and Elton Hart is not convinced based on past orders or the behavior, based on the behavior of Judge Rata in that court. Elton Hart does not believe that Rata will approve the Section 174 application. Now, what happens if Rata doesn't approve the Section 174 application? Now the defense must call their own witnesses because seat defend their clients. Now Elton Hart said, if I am the defense, the first witness that I'm going to call is who? Abselum Zongu. Yay! That's what Elton Hart said. If I am the defense, the first witness that I will call is Abselum Zingu. Why? Why did we make sure after we have been contacted by a chief in that community of Abselum Zongu, and they begged with us to say Abselum Zingu want to clear his name? State could have called Abselum Zingu, but they blue-ticked him. They blue-ticked him, although his statement has been read. His statement has been read in that court. State could have called him, but State decided to say, no, we don't need Abselum Zingu in this court. We don't need him. We don't need him, although he's the most crucial witness for the state, because according to Diminda, Abselum Zongu built this case. He's the one who built the state case. So Abselum Zongu was supposed to be a state witness because everything in this case is because of that affidavit that Abselum Zingu is posted. Now, I'm also not convinced. I don't want to lie. I'm also not convinced that Judge Rata is going to approve that section 174. It will be a bonus. It will be a bonus for everyone if he approves it. But I would really like to see the state calling their own witnesses, starting with Abselum Zongu, going down to their ballistic expert, and also getting their own AVL experts to come and refute the evidence of the state. In my case, the judge, the magistrate didn't see the need to proceed with this case because he said in his judgment, the state couldn't prove a case beyond reasonable doubt against me. The state couldn't even submit evidence. I was the one who brought evidence to court to assess the state. I assisted the state with evidence. Although I was accused, I was an accused person. The state didn't have any evidence. I volunteered to say, okay, fine, state is struggling with evidence. Let me bring in the evidence that they want to prosecute me with. I brought the evidence, I put the evidence there, and that evidence proved that I never committed any crime. Although the state wanted to say I committed a crime based on that evidence that they couldn't even bring to court, I brought the evidence for them and said, that is the evidence. And that is why I was discharged on a section 174. So now, as I said, I'm agreeing 200% with Elton Hart, who says, I don't have faith. I really don't believe that the judge will approve the section 174 application. Hence, that the case will proceed. Let the defense start with the crucial witness, which is Abselum Zingu. I hope that the defense will heed this call once the judge made his decision. As I said, Elton Hart is one of the people who speaks the most sense when you listen to all these legal experts relating to what is happening in Senzo Megwa. He is the person who speaks the most sense. Because remember, the defense must make sure cases are not being withdrawn or drawn. The accused must not be found guilty so that we can move on to the other docket. Because remember, Judge Rata said once this case is finalized, then we will move to that secret docket that everyone is so afraid of. Then we can move to that docket, and then we will find out remember that docket is not the unaliver of Senzo Megwa. Their docket is defeating the ends of justice. Why? Because according to their docket, the people in the house didn't tell the truth as to what happened to Senzo Megwa. Hence, they must be prosecuted for defeating the ends of justice. Oma Piri must be called to court and asked, who told you to clean the blood? Who told you to clean the crime scene? Who told you to take crucial evidence with DNA on it? The tins, the beer bottles and everything. Who told you to get rid, to tamper? Because Mapiri tampered with a crime scene on the instruction of someone. Someone told it to me. So Mapiri must now come and say, no, as a good neighbor, My neighbors was going through a traumatic experience. So as a good neighbor, Mang called me to say, you know what, can we please assist our neighbors here to remove this, and this, and this, and this. Mapiri will come and name them. The rest of the people who was in the house will also have to come and account and say, on this date, in this affidavit, you said you couldn't recognize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You couldn't recognize it. Why did you change your statement in another affidavit? Zandi must come because she pointed people out in court and said, this is the people. But in the first affidavit, they pointed out another person who was arrested. The first person was Zamukutla. The first person who was arrested, that is the person that they pointed out. So how did they change their statement? Hence, Docket 375 is going to be prosecuted based on people who were there on that crime scene. And defeating the ends of justice is broad. Now, this is not going to concentrate on only those people who were on the house. Now, in this docket, you can add Ginda, you can add Jonathan, you can add Mohola, all those ones who came to court, Mangena, whoever, everyone who came to court and testified to say, no, understand my point? You can add each and every one of them up until you have 1,000. How many witnesses did Baloyi call? All those witnesses. If it is found, if these accused persons are going to be acquitted, whether under Section 174 or based on the evidence that the state is going to call, that the defense is going to call, it doesn't matter. Still, Judge Rata must consider the evidence and the witness evidence that is going to be led in court. And then, immediately after he made a judgment, he must move to 375. So if people think that people are going to get off scot-free because in this case, there's no conviction, no. That's why 375 is lying there waiting to be called. 375 is lying there just waiting to be called. Dan gaan die poppe dans. Dan gaan die poppe dans because everyone must get their day in court. Remember, Baloyi refused to prosecute 375. He cannot now come back and be appointed to prosecute 75. No. There must be another prosecutor because Baloyi said, I'm not going to get involved with 375. I don't want to prosecute 375. He refused. So move Baloyi. You might probably also be added as a accused in 375. Anything can happen because based on what happened in this case, Baloyi, you were well aware, or you are well aware what happened. You are the one who kept on adding witnesses. You are the one who kept on adding evidence. You are the one who kept on doing what you for the past 2 years. You've been there. You've been there doing all that. You are the master chef. You are the master chef. You are the one who's been adding this, adding 9mm, adding whatever, and selectively omit what doesn't suit you. So you, Baloyi, might also be added as an accused in Docket 375. Doesn't end here. Things are not going to end with this Docket that is currently in court. No, things are not going to. Things are going to start with Docket 375. Because everyone must come and answer for themselves. Baloyi will not be there to add and omit whatever suits him and no. Like the photographers say that when everyone else left and Baloyi came to me and he told me, say, no what? You must go back where no one can see you. And you must go and take more pictures so that we can just slip it in. They will not know. They didn't know that the ministry was there. Watching you, Baloyi. Watching you every move. Went back to take pictures of chickens crossing the street. Not happening on my watch. I'm not interested in chickens. I want to know, why did you attempt to defeat the ends of justice, Baloyi? To slip in pictures that was not part of the album that you gave to us? Why, Baloyi, did you attempt to defeat the ends of justice? Now, when we have been saying, telling people that judiciary, NPA are extremely compromised, we were insulted. We were insulted. We've been saying this for a long time, for years and years and years and years and years. People insulted us. Now here we are. Only after General Mkonazi went and said, but it's true. But it's really true. Everyone is compromised, starting from SAPS going upwards. Political interference, Becky Taylor running around and doing whatever. Now, nice thing now is, yeah, July month is another year. Yeah, July month is another year. People's eyes are popping. July month made people's eyes popping. Because why? Because everything are being revealed like that. It's like a storm. Have you ever seen when there was a huge storm, tsunami, whatever? When the storm is over, you see all the dirt. The water have just taken everything, and when everything is gone, here you see, hi, where is all this dirt coming from? It's the storm. I've been telling people, guys, have short legs. You can never bury the truth. You can never ever in your life bury the truth. It doesn't matter, even if it takes 100 years, the truth always comes out. Masterminds, I'm going to end it. We lost in jobs there, but I will try to contact him again. He's in a place where there's no stable network. But please do what you do best. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please become a member of this channel so that we can grow more. We will be back with more news. Very, very, very strange and terrible things is happening currently in July month. But hey, after July, we must say Merry Christmas. It's now December. We are tired. We are tired. Bye, Masterminds. So we see one another again in the next episode. Bye-bye.